Hi guys, we're the first group going to present, and our presentation topic is about MGM Macau Oktoberfest 2013.
Here's our group mates. This is Jackie, Ashley, Alex, and I'm Leo.
And this research aims to find out the potential risks of the MGM Macau Oktoberfest, which held during the 17th to 26th October at MGM Macau, and we have provided a recommendation accordingly.
And the method we are mainly using are the observation as well as the interviews. And the records are also made for the video and the pictures for our further reference.
MGM Macau Oktoberfest 2013 is held from 17th of October till 26th of October. The opening hours are from 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. This is the fifth year of MGM to hold this event, and is famous for rolling cheers, Lautenball beer, delectable delicacies, and German band. The Oktoberfest welcomes all ages of attendees. The entrance fee is 100 MOP per pax, which includes a bottle of beer. This is the floor plan of MGM Macau Oktoberfest, which includes two sections, the upstairs sections and downstairs section. The huge marquee can be considered as indoor area, and there's also one stage and two bars set up on the upstairs section. The downstairs section is uncovered, and there are totally around 30 tables are provided for reservation. There's only one escalator for each direction to go upstairs and downstairs, which near the entrance, and most of the guests will use this escalator. The space of the escalator is very limited. When there are too many guests, it may cause a crowd problem, and they may fall down from the escalator and get injured. The security check procedure at the entrance is relatively weak. The securities didn't check the guests' belongings very carefully. Most of the time, they only sweep once. This can also considered as a hazard, because the risk of guests carrying harmful things are becoming higher. These harmful things may include weapons, explosives, and flammables. There is only one main exit in the venue. The crowd control cannot be easily implemented as the entrance and exit are from the same gateway. However, there are two emergency exits in the venue, and one is not easy to be observed. A potential risk in this case is that there may be an emergency occurred. All the guests may rush towards the same exit and may get injured.
There is no alcohol selling permission signage was found nearby the bar. Moreover, it was found that there is no one checking the ID to see if the person is over 18 or not. The hazard may break the policy of Macau government. There are several garland decorations hanging on the ceiling of the main section. The hazard towards these decorations is that there is only a thin string to support each of them. The potential risk is that the decoration may fall off and cause injury among the participants. The electronic wire connects the fan hanging on the wall has no further protection and no signage. The electronic wire may cause fire and burn the decoration in the ceiling and even injure the participants. The bench are very unstable because it is very long, and at the middle of the bench is easy to deformation. This may have the risk to cause the accident, such as the participants fell down and injured. Dishes were left on the table messily and no one collect. The food may breed bacteria and cause food spoilage. It may attract flies and cause hygienic problems that may affect other participants' food quality. There is a potential risk of food poisoning. There is no clear evacuation signage provided. The only signage available is the direction to the washroom and the main exit. The risk of that is if accident happen, participants may all rush to the same direction. The exciting guests jump towards the stage, and this may cause damage to the musical instrument. If there is too much gas, the stage might collapse. The lighting is not sufficient, especially in the downstairs section. There is only limited lights are working. The potential hazard may increase the risk of injury. Half of the venue have no rooftop. If there is severe weather, it may cause the guests a rush onto the upstairs section. The venue uses a lot of glass fence. If there is a lot of gas leaning on the fence, it may crush the fence and also cause the guests to injure. There is no obvious section to separate the smoking area, and the guests just smoke wherever they want. The stairs connect the upper and lower section is very steep and narrow. Besides, there is not enough lighting to illuminate the stairs. The risk towards this hazard is that the participants may slip and trip. From observation, there is only 3 fire extinguishers in the venue. When the fire hazard occurs, it is not able to extinguish or control the fire by only 3 fire extinguishers.
你好啊，想問下你咧，今日呢度人唔人多啊？你覺得？
人人多。
係啊係啊係啊，
多啊多啊。
會好逼啊，會透唔到氣咁唔舒服噶嘛？
咁又唔會咁樣。
有冇嘢行到棘到咁樣啊？覺得？你廁所出入門口清唔清水啊？知唔知廁所喺邊啊？其實你
唔知喎。
真係唔知啊？
唔知喎。
我出門口轉右就係啦。
哦，係啊，原來係咁啊，唔好落咯。
唔係仲想問下你覺得呢度今日啲防火設備夠唔夠啊？唔覺有啊？嗬？
唔係好覺嘅。
唔係好覺有，好啦。呢個有冇急救隊嗰啲咧？即係如果你唔舒服，你會去邊啊？
揾食 Q 咯。
食 Q 會點幫你㗎？知唔知道？
應該食 Q 都識 First A 㗎嘛。
After we summarize the findings, here we come to the risk assessment. The first hazard is fire hazard. There are some existing control methods. The first one is that the event placed 3 extinguishers on site, and they also hung the electronic wire overhead. They also provide 2 emergency exits for the guests to evacuation, and the risk rating for fire is 5. There are some additional control methods are required. The first one is to increase extinguisher to at least 6, and also set up the smoking area to reduce the chance of smoking to burn up. And the professional briefed on the emergency procedures for the event is very necessary. The electricians on duty for electrical problem will be also helpful. The last method is to place more distinct evacuation signage. After all these measures, the residual risk will down to 4. The second hazard is that decoration may fall off. There are no existing control measures, and the risk rating is 6. There are some additional control measures required. The first one is to reinforce the support of decoration, and the second one is regularly check the strings by technicians. After these measures, the residual risk will down to 3. The third hazard is slip and trip. There are some existing control methods. The first one is the floor is skate-proof material, and the staff were trained to pay attention to all the guests, and the risk rating is 6. There are some additional control measures required. The first one is to place more distinct caution white floor signage, and the second one is to brief the staffs to carry appropriate numbers of dishes and glasses. And the third one is to brief the staffs to be aware and frequently clean the wet floor. The last one, maybe increase the lighting or support, will be a good options. And the residual risk will down to 3. The fourth hazard is that glass may crash and cause injury. The existing control is that we are using the toughened glasses, and the risk rating is 4. The additional methods are that they need to place more distinct caution aside the glass fence, and also the security informs the guests not to lie on the fence, and the risk will down to 2. The fifth hazard is overcrowding. The existing control, including control the flow of people at the entrance, and also security staffs always on duty, and the event is a ticket-only event. The risk rating is 3. The additional control measures required are including provide clear direction and signage for guests, and also rearrange the layout of the venue and also reduce the number of tables, and they will provide more spaces. The residual risk will down to 2. The sixth hazard is the chaos in the emergency. The existing control including the security monitoring all the participants, and also there are 2 emergency exits available. The risk rating is 6. There are some additional control measures are required. The first one is to increase the visible evacuation signage, and the second one is to brief the staffs to control the crowd when they need it. And the third one is to set up the first aid service in case of any emergency. After these measures, the residual risk will turn to 2.
The seventh hazard is bomb or weapon or chemical threats. The existing control measure is security check bags at the entrance. The risk rating is 8. And for the additional control measure, first is reinforce the checking procedure. Second is large handbags are not allowed to bring into the event. Last is training staff and security pay attention to any of these threats. After all this, the residual risk will down to 4. The eighth hazard is damaging of assets. The existing control measure first is security monitoring the participants. Second is guests are not allowed to access the stage. The risk rating is 6. For the additional control measure, first is strengthen the benches and tables. Second is set the fence surrounding the stage. Last is set the rules and regulations in case the damaging of assets. After all this, the residual risks will down to 2. The ninth hazard is complaint for limited washroom. There is no existing control measures for this hazard. The risk rating is 3. And for the additional control measure is provide a spare washroom facilities and have a clear directions. The residual risk will down to 2. The 10th hazard is severe weather. The existing control measure is marquee is provided to classify as indoor area. The risk rating is 6. The additional control measure is set up another marquee in the outdoor area to make it become indoor area. And the residual risk will down to 3. The last hazard is food poisoning. There is no existing control measure for this hazard. The risk rating is 8. And for the additional control measure, first is increase the hygiene procedure of making food. Second is increase the human resources to collect the food waste and dirty dishes. Last is brief the staff to have more sense of hygiene and increase the frequencies for cleaning the tables and public areas. And the residual risks will down to 4. This part is recommendations for Macau. By conducting this research, it is discovered that Macau did not carry out any risk management policy for the event. In order to improve the quality of event as well as the reputation of a tourism destination, several recommendations may need to be considered in the future. Firstly, in order to lower the risk of overcrowding, there should have a policy to restrict the maximum participants for certain venue areas. For instance, the maximum participant for MGM Vista floor is 1,500 pax. It is forbidden to exceed the amount. Secondly, there is no strict policy to eliminate the risk of fire hazard. The government should compel the event organizers to clearly provide a signage of evacuation. At the same time, fireproofing facilities should meet the requirement and placed in the conspicuous area. Meanwhile, for the event that included alcohol, post the alcohol selling permission and check the ID beforehand should be included in the event management policy in Macau. Last but not least, as for public events with a certain scale, the compulsory security check needs to be implemented to ensure the safety of all the participants.
That's the end of our presentation. Thank you. Bye-bye.